You think about AI, and this is, how I'll probably much wrap it up. AI is only going to be as good as the data that you feed it.
And it's going to simplify your data structures, right? And so simple is always better because, Leonardo da Vinci once said, and he's exactly right, that simplicity is the ultimate in sophistication, right? And so utilizing multi-level product hierarchies, which is something that we do in-house here at Pivot Tree with our resident taxonomists, to systematically structure complex product portfolios and making data easier to navigate and manage. And that's what so often when I talk to just the people, the ones that actually are hands-on keyboards, unfortunately it's always one or two people that you can just tell they're overwhelmed with what they have to do, with what they have to go through, and how many hours they've spent on the one spreadsheet. So to simplify their job makes it much easier for not only the people themselves, but also the other people that ingest that data, right? And when you standardize that, you're standardizing for compliance, for risk management, for all of those things that, provides tools for validation that you can see that's a repeatable process. And so, when I think about how MDM helps to win and helps to drive that, that's some of the things that really kind of move forward the way that you really create a strong and a resilient thing that's not dependent on one person and is not even though it's a single source of truth, it's not a single point of failure where you're relying on just one person in the office. You're relying on one spreadsheet. Like it allows everybody to look at it and move quickly. So providing the agility to the business is very, very important.
And I can tell you, as a 30-year-old, or not 30-year-old, but 30-year manufacturer, wish it was 30. It's manufacturing is a workaround industry. You ask any manufacturer right now, they're going, we do that. We do that. We got a system for that. We got a system for that. Well, you do. You have 53 systems for that. And all of them are just slightly different. And there's no automations enabled through. And something that's said in one system is said something different in the other. And that all may not make a big deal to you because you're like, we just work around it. We erase the error. We fix the error before shipping. And then that. Well, you add up all those little fixes and, we catch it and this and that. You add those all up at the end of the day. And you automate those where you can consistently trust an accurate governed data to flush those through. All of a sudden you're realizing efficiencies and automations you didn't realize that you had. And you're like, wow, I had no idea this enabled that. And that's where people are usually wowed. It's because it's enabling what you already have. We're not trying to rip out, retrain, existing systems. We're trying to enable what you already have, govern it so it works better, more accurate for the business, gives you real business outcomes. So people can walk away at the end of the day and go, I don't know what happened last quarter, but man, that really came through for us. And what changed? Like, it's going to be hard to pinpoint it, but it's now you can finally trust the data that flows through your enterprise.
And that takes me to kind of an overarching point that's so important. I think sometimes gets lost in the shuffle, but it's important to call out. It's really data itself is your most strategic asset. It's the most important part. And so as we've talked about, I think especially after COVID, so many people were sold on they need this system or this thing. And all of those things are great, and when properly utilized, can really help solve a lot of problems. I'm not here to say that those aren't important, but the data is the gasoline to the car. And if you're not feeding rich, clean, crisp data to all of those systems, you're creating more work. And so a lot of people look back and they say, well, we bought this system, we bought that system, but they're not really working for us.
Well, they don't talk to one another. They're not interoperable. Everyone has that great one-off system. And I go, that's great for that department.
That's right.
It's not great for everybody else that's waiting from the data from that department, because you're going to give it to them in a format. They're going to, what is this? I can't give this to, a marketer. I can't give this to a consumer. I can't give this to procurement. They're not going to know what 1A, 41X means. It's like, what is standardizing that in the middle? What is enriching it? What is sharing it? So we go on the acquire, manage, share model. It's like we look and want to integrate with every system in there, bring it up there, govern it, make sure it's right before it's sent back out. And therefore, you know that everybody's working consistently and accurately. And that's going to really increase throughput, but also prep you for scalability. You think about AI, and this is, you know, how I'll probably much wrap it up. All these bells and whistles that people see out there, AI is only going to be as good as the data that you feed it. And so if you're not getting it consistent, accurate data on the foundational end, how can you enable some of these bells and whistles? And it's going to help you catch up, but it also could ruin your business if you automate. Do people feel good leaving the business and saying, look, I'm going to hit automate, I'll come back tomorrow? How many people running manufacturing companies would feel good about that? They could be a car maker, the next day come in, they're making mopeds. Like you wouldn't trust it just because I don't feel good about the data. I wouldn't feel good about AI coming in, making decisions for me, or recommending other people to make decisions based off of what it knows. So we like to govern that data, enhance fabric, so AI can make, especially the agentic AI, make better on-point decisions, for people that are in those workspaces that really need to find those efficiencies for profitability.
Yeah, I think just wrapping up for me is when you see the companies that are really growing and really going forward, it's because at a core, their competitive differentiator is their data and how they're leveraging that for their downstream system. And it's spilling out to their market leadership and so forth. And that's where getting an Indian really helps you out.
It's a shortcut because I know I can tell you from my perspective, sometimes you're a little embarrassed going to data people and say, here's what I got, help me. And they think, gosh, AI can't even think about it. Or, hey, automation, this, we're not even there. Don't even talk to us about that. That's for the Elon Musks and the Teslas out there, people that are working the year 2050. Actually, just like an old TV that you got sitting on your wall that you love, but you don't want to take down, but you really want one of those smart TVs, we're the equivalent of coming and sticking a Roku in it. And now all of a sudden you got a smart TV. We can help a lot of companies catch right back up and throw themselves right in the middle of the competitive race, especially with AI, scalability, all the industry 4.0, 5.0 stuff out there. We can really help them catch up really quick by governed data. And we can adjust for pretty much anything from a green screen legacy, ERP, Excel's, cocktail napkin, doesn't matter what it is. Right. It's just bringing it in, govern it. Once you have that, then you have scalability. So I encourage anybody that, that's ever thinking about, I can't do it. I got to keep doing it the way that we're doing it because we just don't have the foundation to be able to support some of this newer stuff. That's wrong. You can catch up. And one of it is getting the handle on your data through an MDM, a multi-platform across the entire enterprise, especially with the help of someone like yourself at Pivotry to kind of gun down there and say, hey, tell us what's going to help your efficiencies. Let's come out with a solution and a win-win.
That's ultimately going to lower your total cost of ownership for the things that you've already invested in.
I agree. Well, you know what? I can't think of anything else unless we have any questions from the audience out there. I see none in the back. So, truly,
appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure, sir.
Thanks.